Devin Haney got all the straps at 35. And
we gave them those straps. We gave them to him, bro. Losing to fucking Kambosos. That's why that motherfucker, look, you ever see that video with him and his father jumping like fucking like, we gave them to him, bro.
We gave them to him, bro. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego. I'm back with some more boxing. If delusion was a person, that was Teofimo Lopez Sr., and he did an interview with Mill City Boxing, and he was saying some outlandish things. Now, he did talk about 4 or 5 years ago, his son sparred with Devin Haney, and he says that Devin Haney was doing real well with the jab, and his son switched it up on Devin Haney, caught Devin Haney, and had him staggering. I made a great unpack this morning that I dropped for you, giving my response to that. You guys can find out more on that video. All you have to do is subscribe and breeze through my past videos. So make sure you guys stay up to date. Now, the clip I played at the beginning, Teofimo Sr. sounds absolutely delusional. Eddie Murphy's delirious. You heard the host, and he says Devin Haney is undisputed, and he cuts the host off to say, we gave him the belts, bro. We gave him. No, that's not what happened. So Devin Haney went to Australia. The first trip, a lot of his team, there was some conflict. They had priors or felonies or whatever. So he didn't even get to have the luxury of his dad for most of his time acclimating over in Australia, his cut man, and different people, members of his team, they were playing games, so they couldn't actually get a visa to go to Australia. So Devin Haney left America, had to leave his dad behind, not knowing if his dad would be able to join him, and his dad missed the weigh-in and was able to join him late the day of, and had to rush to the fight. And Devin Haney, he was risking it all. George Kambosos was off the best win of his career versus Teofimo, where he dropped Teofimo and beat Teofimo in his backyard. And then Devin Haney goes across the pond to Australia, missing some of his team, and does the same thing and one-sidedly beats George Kambosos. Then, per the rematch clause, Devin Haney, true man of his word, he honored the rematch clause, because he could have easily said, oh, I was undisputed, I'm out, I'm going to 140, because he had already talked about and complained about 135 is getting progressively harder to make. Devin Haney didn't do that. He decided to stick around, and he beat Kambosos, and he beat him even more firmly because he was a bit more offensive, and he actually busted up Kambosos in the rematch. So how does that equate to giving Devin Haney the belts? Sounds to me like Devin Haney did his thing and earned the belts. Something your son couldn't do in his backyard. Even though he's from Florida, he claims New York, and he was in New York when he lost to George Kambosos. Devin Haney took your son's quote-unquote leftovers, and at the peak of his career, the best win of his career, because before that he had some split decision victories against Mickey Bay and Lee Selby that were questionable. So the Kambosos win over Teofimo was clearly the most significant moment in his career, as was Teofimo was entering that fight with his most significant win against Vasily Lomachenko. So you guys see there was a passing of the torch. Lomachenko was thought to be the dude. Teofimo beats him. And I picked him to beat Lomachenko, by the way, because I'm greatness personified. Ego Stradamus. Then Teofimo at the peak of it, first title defense, he loses to Kambosos. And then, as I mentioned, George Kambosos at the peak of his career, beating Teofimo, he loses his first title defense to Devin Haney. Devin Haney was the first one to break that curse by properly defending his belt in the Kambosos rematch and beating him convincingly to remain undefeated and to remain undisputed. This is something Teofimo has struggled with, as you see from this delusional tweet from Teofimo, the son. He says, maybe if you all would show respect to me as your undisputed world champion, then I will show you all the same. Till then, enjoy the show. But he was never undisputed, and there was a clear dispute because Devin Haney had the WBC interim belt and was calling him out. Even a guy who actually was undisputed, Josh Taylor, confirms this. That little rat Teofimo parading in on Canelo's day with the Mickey Mouse WBC. What a brass neck. What a effing brass neck. Embarrassing. The guy is so desperate it's unreal. There's only 2 undisputed champions with all the belt. Facts. And he was referring to himself at that time and Canelo Alvarez. Now, fast forward to the future, Josh Taylor had to relinquish his belt. Devin Haney still is undisputed. And he's the true undisputed because he actually had the interim belt, beat Kambosos, and collected all of the other belts that Loma and Teo had. So there was no franchise title or there's no other lingering belt, first-hand belt. There's only secondary belts in the division, right? And there was no franchise champion that was able to bail out by not facing the other top-ranked person. Devin Haney did it the traditional and old-fashioned way to become the man in his own right, with all the belts respectfully. Now, I'm really starting to question, when I looked at the Taylor versus Teofimo fight, I'm thinking like, oh, both guys have a shot to win, but kind of leaning towards Taylor. Now, based on what I'm hearing from Team Lopez, the more they interview and Teo's doing these rants saying ESPN can keep the black fighters and we gave Devin Haney belts even though he earned them through fighting and actually had nothing to do with Teofimo. The only thing he did was lose. If he would have maintained his belts, then they could have got Teofimo versus Devin cracking, but he wasn't able to successfully defend. So with everything being said, I'm really starting to question if the safe money is on Josh Taylor because he's just kind of quiet and training, and then the Lopezes are all over the place saying these cockamamie things. You let me know what you think. It'll be bad if Teofimo loses to Taylor. I'll just put it that way. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think of this absurdity from Teofimo Sr. saying they gave Devin Haney the belts, even though he earned it by beating the guy that his son could not beat. Mind you, if he really was about it, he could have rematched Kambosos, but he decided to move up. So that's another knock on Teofimo. If you had this blown out esophagus and stuff like that, then when you were back healthy, allegedly, why didn't you rematch Kambosos? You left it to Devin Haney and left the division. So it looks bad. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Best in the business, NMO. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.